If you have been a mom for more than a day, then you most likely have experienced mom guilt. It happens the first moment that we find out that we are a mom and we have this beautiful blessing from God growing inside of our womb. We're so excited that we're carrying this beautiful life. But then a few weeks into the pregnancy, and what happens? We skip a vitamin, or we don't get enough steps in, or we don't get enough protein or enough rest. And now all of a sudden, we're feeling all the guilt in the world because we feel like we are not doing the best job as a mom, and our baby's not even here yet. Hi, I'm Judy Marlowe. If you're new here, I am a Christian. I am a wife married to my best friend for 15 years, and I am a mom of six who works full time. I am building a business while working full time so I can eventually transition out of my 9 to 5 and be more present with my husband and my children without sacrificing time or my finances to make that leap. Let's talk a little bit about mom guilt. What is mom guilt? Well, when I looked it up, the definition the internet gave me is the pervasive feeling of inadequacy, self doubt, and remorse that mothers experience when they feel they are failing to live up to their own expectations or societal expectations of parenting. It is that constant nagging and internal voice suggesting you are somehow failing your child. I have been a mom for 15 years and I have been working the entire time. Every working mom that I have ever talked to has felt guilt for not being home with their children more and just missing out on so many activities or special moments. And it has been so heartbreaking to know that God has called us to work outside of the home, but we still feel this desire to be home with our children. I know that I did. All of my friends were stay at home moms, and I so desired to be home with my children. But I knew God was calling me into the military. And every time I tried to leave the military, God made it clear that He did not want me to go, that He wanted to use this to sanctify me, to draw me closer to Him. And in my 15 years, in my 18 years in the military, I can absolutely say that He has done that. When mom guilt comes in like a flood, there are a few things that I have done over the years that have really helped. And I want to share them with you today in hopes that it will help you when those thoughts and those lies from the enemy come in. Number one is praying and fasting. You have to be so secure in Jesus, and He has to be your foundation, especially as a working mom, especially as a believer. You need that dependency on Him. You need your foundation in Him. It was very hard for me to admit, but in the beginning of my motherhood journey, I was idolizing my daughter because I wanted to be there for her. I wanted to have control and I didn't want her to suffer. I didn't want her to have to cry at the daycare center and wait to be picked up and comforted. I just wanted to be there for every single moment to take care of her and to make sure that nothing bad ever happened to her. And I had to realize that that was really me not trusting God. That was me trusting in my own abilities. And the more that I matured and talked to other moms and talked to my mom and prayed, I realized that I had to trust God and I wasn't trusting God enough. My eyes were on my children, not on Him. So praying and fasting just really helped me to remember that He is sovereign, that He loves my children more than I ever could. And I love them so much, so I can't even imagine that. And He loves your children more. He loves you so much. So remember that when you feel those thoughts coming in and just kind of overtaking, just surrender, pray, and ask God to help you memorize some scripture verses that just keep your mind that He is with you and He will never leave you. One of the verses that really just shaped my whole Christian walk is Romans 8:28. God uses all things to work for good to those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. So even in those moments that I missed, even in those moments that I so wanted to be there, God was using even those moments of suffering and pain to just create this beautiful story in me and in my family's life. The second thing that I had to realize is the time that I was spending with my kids. Quality time was better than the amount of time. So quality over quantity. I was coming home and I would be on my phone, and I still do that sometimes. I come home and I'm on my phone a lot. And I don't want to do that. I try really hard to come home and to disconnect from my full-time job and be so present with my children and look them in the eyes, hug them when I come to the door, ask them about their day, ask them very intentional questions, and just have good conversations with them, tell them I love them, laugh with them a little bit, maybe throw on a song and do a dance party, folding party, whatever it is. Because sometimes the reality is you come home and dinner has to be made or laundry has to be folded. So you can still use those opportunities to spend time with your children. It doesn't mean that you could just, okay, well, I don't have time because I have to do all these things. Yes, but bring your child along with that. Because if you have a good quality hour of time with your child or two when you get home, that is way more meaningful than you being home all day and not having those really deep or good conversations. And the last thing is planning intentional time with your children, taking them out on a date. Sometimes it's just grabbing them and saying, hey, let's go to Costco. And then on the way home, we'll drive through Chick-fil-A and get a milkshake and fries. Because in a car, you'd be surprised children are able to just open up and talk. I mean, I have 6 children, so having one-on-one time can be very difficult because usually we have to cater to the 2-year-old, right? So my teenager doesn't get as much engagement. The conversations in the car have just been so good, or just the spontaneous dates. And you should plan intentional dates. Go plan a sushi, boba tea, thrift stores. I'm just telling you everything that me and my children like to do together. But that is so important for you and for your child to just connect on that level. So I really hope that this was encouraging for you today. And if you are a mama and you are experiencing this mom guilt, you are not alone. Okay. And if this video helped you, I would love for you to share it with another mama so that she can be encouraged today. All right. I'll see you in the next one.